Argentina. Lots of experience in that team, and a powerful pack of forwards, particularly that front row. Great scrummers they are, the Argentinians. Italy, well, disappointing tournament for them, but lots to play for today in terms of restoring the pride of the Azzurri. The Australians spoke about that pack of forwards. Julian Gardner at the back, who played 4 internationals for Australia, and the scrumming ability of the Italians was widely praised by Australia. Placements for today: 2 De Castillos on the Argentinian side. The referee today for today's encounter is Clayton Thomas from Wales, and he'll be supported by another Welshman in Derek Bevan, who's in his 3rd Rugby World Cup, and Kofi Degni Serafin from Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast, commonly known as KD in his country. Crowd have packed in here just at a very late stage. When we arrived some 2 hours ago, there were not that many people in the ground, but great support for these two nations, and one certainly hopes that we'll see an attractive game of rugby, Tony, because both these teams are capable of playing good, attractive, running, constructive rugby.
Yes, indeed. Both sides have proved in the Rugby World Cup '95 that given the opportunity, they do take their chances. They counter-attack very well. But one of the things with this Argentinian side, they retain the ball very well, but those final passes, those try-scoring opportunities just go begging. And they haven't been able to convert their opportunities, and they have had numerous ones at that into points. So they'll be looking for a marked improvement this afternoon.
Well, the finishing touches are what needed as Sile starts with a deep kick that might go all the way out. Well, not a good start for Argentina. A little bit of misjudgment possibly of the win there from Sile. Sile coming across to South Africa as a replacement in the Argentine side, and that was something of great surprise to the South Africans, that he was not a first choice after performing so well against them last year. Scrum off is Troncon, and then Diego Dominguez. That's a big hoist from Vakari. Very solid Jurado at the back. Well, they're going to come back for a penalty for Argentina being in an offside position. Jurado looks a bit stunned. It had nothing to do with him. And this is virtually on the halfway line, and kicking into that wind is not going to be an easy job for Dominguez. He's thinking about going for poles, and yes, he is. Well, this is going to be an enormous kick on a day like today. Conditions are firm underfoot, so he won't have any problems with footholds.
Two naughty errors there from the Argentinian side as they started off the match. Firstly, going into touch on the full, and then conceding a penalty like that. Really, at this level, they shouldn't be forcing those penalties.
Well, that's an excellent effort, and that's well over there from Dominguez. Now, if he's going to kick them over into the wind from that sort of distance, Argentina had better beware. Italian support substantial here today in East London. That's once again that kick's gone too far from Argentina. Choice for Italy. Massimo Catita says we'll come back to the halfway line for a scrum. They have options. Two powerful packs of forwards. Argentina outweighing the Italians. Good solid technique, as we've always come to know from Argentina. Both packs are obliged to scrum straight. Dominguez with a little switch pass, and then a good run through that ball out to Vakari. Solid start for Italy in this match. Argentina come away with it. That's Sile. Well, there was a forward pass there, and the Italians hurrying the Argentine into mistakes.
Yes, certainly the Italian side seems to be playing with a lot more urgency. They cut the Argentinian backline off right at source there, and Silly had no opportunity to go anywhere but look for the touchline.
Well, the ball put under the feet of hooker Carlo Orlandi there from Alessandro Troncon, the Italian scrum half. You don't often see that in today's rugby, and Sile just deciding to kick quickly, didn't really set his sights. Long, and that's a good punt across the field back for Gerardo and Diego Cuesta Silva. Well, it just shows that if you can kick accurately and with good timing, the wind makes very little difference to your performance. Federico Mendes with a throw-in for Argentina. Well, there'll be a hold-up here for injury, because down on the far side, looks like one of the Italians, that's Franco Properzi, who was just down for a while, but he's back on his feet. Lots of experience in the front row. He's a big man, is Franco Properzi. Useful support in the lineouts, of course, for Pedroni and Jacari. But it's Mendes who'll probably be looking for Yanez in the front. Doesn't find him. Back to Troncon. Good play by the Italians, trying to get over that advantage line. Troncon again back coming into Francescato. This is great running by the Italian side. Just look at the support, but there's no one on the far side. Troncon, was that a knock-on? Well, back they'll come for the scrum.
Exciting moments there from Italy again. They're playing with such urgency, looking to move the ball, looking for space. And indeed, as we saw that fine break through the middle there by Bordon, and he made a very useful break and gave the useful support to his backup.
Well, it was good to see Francescato coming off his right foot. Well, the penalty is given for collapsing the scrum. That was given against Massimo Catita. Sile choosing to go with the wind, because that's the direction, but it's not a very good kick from him. Taken by Vicari. Back inside to Bordon. Good play there from Zogolon. Well, Italy are getting a great surplus of ball here. Fine bounce for them, Cuesta Silva and then Gerardo. The Argentines are there in greater numbers, but hurried into a knock-on, and a real sense of urgency from Italy.
Well, that's the first time we've seen the Argentine side really get together. They took out the Italian men, just preventing that ball from coming out. And unfortunately, at the crucial time, little knock-on, and those are really unforced errors.
Pick up at the back from Gardner. Then Catita takes back in again. They want to suck the Argentine in. Good running by Dominguez. Swift of foot is Dominguez. Now that could be a penalty for a late charge.
Little man Dominguez puts up a super little chip, looking for space. And you can just see that he runs into a brick wall there and ends up flat on his behind.
The Argentine maybe have a score to settle with this man. Argentine by birth, but now domiciled in Italy. Really an excellent kicker with a very high strike rate does Dominguez have. Just absolutely wastes no time. It'll swing away, that one, and the referee has given it over. Well, from our view, that looked like it didn't go over. We'll leave that judgment to you.
Gavin, you can just see the little smile on his face. There's quite unbelievingly, he seems to think that it may well have missed, but he's not complaining. They'll take the extra 3 points, and that takes Italy into a 6-0 lead.
Start coming there from Arbezu, who's played fly half during Rugby World Cup as well. Dominguez with the relief for Italy. But that real sense of urgency coming from the Italians might have something to do with the fact that they're playing into the wind, and important that they establish some sort of platform to turn around at half-time. Krishel onto Noriega. Penalty will go Italy's way if there is no advantage. Clayton Thomas just waiting for the release, but it comes on the other side. Italy went over that ruck ball and played the ball off their feet. So we'll see now Jose Sile, who's also a very good goal kicker. Well, in fact, he's not going for poles, and this is an interesting choice by him. They've chosen to rather try and get a line out close to the Italian line. They have the strength of Herman Yanez in the front of the line out, and that's a very positive move.
More importantly for Argentina, that's Sile's third attempt at touch from a penalty, and he's finally managed to get it, and that gives them the throw-in at the line out. A huge advantage.
Well, will it be Yanez in the front or Spoleta in the middle? Yanez is the taker. Two powerful packs of forwards. The way they come with it. Good play there by Hooker Mendez. This could well be a try to Argentina. Well, a positive reward for positive play. Well, that try has gone to Rolando Martin. And he, in many ways, has been one of the stars of the Rugby World Cup 95 for Argentina. Very lively player. Always the man, certainly on the Argentinian side, the first man to the point of breakdown.
Well, the try initially coming from a super jump at the front of the line out by German Yanez. And just look here as the loose forwards, both of them get in behind each other, and eventually it's Rolando Martin. And he'll be delighted that try. He's certainly been the live wire of this Argentinian side, always looking for work. Very good driver. And as you can see there, with great support from his number 8, Jose Santamarina.
That's Sile with the conversion. That's going to swing away. Well, 6 points to 5 then. Italy lead Argentina, and deservedly so. 18 minutes gone. Well, it says 12 minutes on the screen, and the scoreboard shows 18. We'll believe the 12. Low kick from Dominguez. It was good play that by Christian Veal. He didn't try and pick it up, just stopped it with a foot. Of course, both these nations have a great passion for soccer, and the ball-playing abilities are well known of both teams. That's a huge punt across the field, but it's gone too far there from the Italian fullback Troiani.
Just looking up at the flags on the above the scoreboard here, you can see that the wind has changed a little bit. It's virtually blowing across the field away from us towards that open grandstand, and that's why we've seen a number of those kicks just drift a little wider than possibly anticipated by the kicker.
Big jump by Pedro Spoleta for Argentina. They're struggling to get momentum going in those driving mauls. Plenty of Italian resistance. They get the release, but that's a wild pass from them, and back foot is Christian Veal. Better ball for them, Rolando Martin. Bridging that advantage line is important for them. That's a thumping tackle. Back in it goes Veal, but a little bit of over-elaboration from Argentina. Once again, Martin takes it on. Can they now stretch it wide? Sile going in short, but well tackled by Dominguez. Well, the advantage was not there for Argentina. after Italy had been caught in an offside position. Once again, Sile choosing to go for the line-out throw. Of course, having the penalty means that you have the throw-in as well. And Sile would have absolutely no problem getting the distance with a penalty. But they've decided to take on the Azzurri with the try line in sight. Mendes, he's such an accurate thrower in. And with Yanez in the front, he's an explosive jumper. Ball coming, bobbing back and forth in the line out. Spoleda and Jose Santamarina in the thick of things. Well, Argentina, they're unfortunately obstructing as the ball carrier had a man in front of him. Just a little bit of over-elaboration one feels from them. That's Martin Tiran that goes back, just taps it inside to Gerardo. Well, indecisiveness from Argentina.
Well, it's not often we see indecisive play from that man, Gerardo. He normally makes very good, decisive breaks from the back there. And he was almost lulled into a false sense of security there. He had the kick in his mind, and he had Martin Tiran calling for the pass on his inside.
That's Matias Corral playing at loose head prop for Argentina, and both sets of front row forwards need to keep their shoulders above their hips when they're scrumming. Italy do well to disrupt that scrum of Argentina, turn them towards the touchline, but it's gone through the 90 degrees. Hard to get quality ball from a scrum which is angled towards the touchline. Well, Matias Corral and Franco Properzi are spoken to by the referee. Quick pass to Sile. This is not a good attacking platform for Argentina, but Salvat comes through beautifully. Now, can he switch on? Couldn't find early support. Back is Martin. Argentina doing well. They've got some numbers joining that ruck now. And then Federico Mendes taken on by Santamarina. Christian Ville. Good ball for them. Did that not come off an Italian leg? That's Troiani that was scragged. It's a long kick that from Paolo Vaccari.
Well, Argentina certainly coming back into this match and showing there that their ball retention skills are proving to be the vital component in their game this afternoon. They seem to be a lot more effective when they stay on their feet in the maul. And in going to ground, we've seen them knock on a little bit, and a little bit of poor service coming from their little scrum off their Krechel.
Well, both the teams have in their backline, that's Yanez, have in their backline players that are playing what we would assume would be out of position. I mean, Salvat is a fullback at centre, and in the Italian side, many of the backs play in different positions, but it shows the versatility of the players. That message is very clear from Clayton Thomas of Wales. Diego Dominguez gets the message from his team. This is what they want. Well, back it goes into the 22, and that's a massive punt that from Luigi Troiani. 6 points to 5 then. Italy lead against Argentina in this bottom of Pool B match. Very few balls have been thrown onto Pedro Spoleda during Rugby World Cup. It's mainly been Yanez in the front, but Italy have disrupted the line-out ball of the Argentine. It's a good kick that from Diego Dominguez. He's a lovely footballer, isn't he, Tony?
Well, he certainly is. He's a player that has a lot of experience, and obviously that rubs off on his Italian teammates, and he's been able to pepper the ball in both corners and keep his forwards going forward, which is important.
One senses a real sense of urgency in the Italian backline, the desire to run with the ball. We saw that early in the match. There hasn't been enough quality ball for them to build on that. Sile. Carlo Orlandi, the Italian hooker. Well, that was a good take by Italy, but they closed the gap in the line out too quickly. So free kick Argentina's way. It's amazing that Sile has not chosen to look for greater distance, having the wind at his back, but probably not wanting to sacrifice accuracy for distance. And one would have thought that he might have looked to kick towards the corner flag.
I think you've hit it on the head there, Gavin. I don't think that Argentina have utilized the wind sufficiently and played in the Italian half enough. And those big kicks downfield will certainly put pressure on the Italians.
That was the dummy there from Kreshil, and then going back to the forwards. They're really looking to take Italy on with their forwards. Rolando Martin. Well, Martin ran into his own player there, so that's the scrum down. Alessandro Troncon for Italy with a put-in. There's certainly a lot of problems on the far side there with Mattias Corral of Argentina and Franco Paperzi at the tight head for Italy. That's better ball for Italy. Troncon. Pass on the inside to Zogron. Just the lack of finishing from both teams on occasions, and that's good running there by the big Stefano Bordon. This is a good chance for Italy, and then Sebastian Salvat is the saviour for Argentina. Well, the Italians are coming at Argentina in numbers, but possibly just lacking the finishing touches and haven't really had the quality ball that they want. Argentina on the other side seemingly getting a lot of ball, but not playing in the Italian half of the field.
Well, in this Rugby World Cup tournament, Argentina have already proved that they have a solid defence. They've pulled off some magnificent tackles in the games we've seen from them, but Italy just not throwing everything at them in the right direction. They seem to be spreading the ball a little wide and drifting on it.
Pedroni in the front against Yanez. This is a long kick downfield. That's going to be an excellent kick that from Rodrigo Kreshil of Argentina. Very tight angle, just managed to get it to bounce in field. And that's what's been lacking from his halfback partner, Jose Sile. Carlo Orlandi with a throw in. Pedroni in the front for Italy. He's the jumper.
These lineouts certainly proving to be a little messy today. We've seen some very good ball taken by German Yanez up the front there. But other than that, the referees penalised harshly and a lot of knock-ons coming.
Dominguez with a hoist. Back foot is Cuesta Silva. Now Gerardo's with him, but he doesn't look for the switch. That's not a good kick from him. That's little Martin Tiran, the shortest man on the field, going off there on the left wing. He will be remembered as the man from Tucumán, quite at home playing on the left or the right wing. The Italian scrum has stood well in this match. The Australians rate their scrum very highly, and of course the famous bajada technique of the Argentine is well known, where they scrum and pass the ball.
Well, that man in picture there, Dominguez, he's certainly proving to have an outstanding game today. He's been putting some precision kicks deep into the Argentinian half of the field, and nice to see him playing well again. He hasn't had a good tournament. Apparently some worries. His wife is due to have their first child, and she's due to have it 3 or 4 days ago, so he'll be looking forward to getting home, I'm sure.
Well, 80 minutes of concentration is what the Azzurri ask from him, and then he can get on the phone to his wife. Right now there's a terrific pride at stake with these two nations. Argentina is a great source of players, 300 of them playing in Italy, and neither wants to finish at the bottom of this pool. That's the kick from Kreshel. Referee had his hand up and allowed for advantage. Well, he doesn't feel there's been enough.
Well, interestingly, over the far touchline there, the touch judge put his flag up, and referee there from Wales, Clayton Thomas, he just indicated that play on. He didn't see the foot going into touch, and not often we see the referee overrule the touch judge in such close confines.
That's Sile's big punt downfield. That's a really good kick from him. And that's from the Argentine cause, it's perhaps a far better option to get down into their half of the field. The Argentine will also be looking for something of a counter to Yanez's jumping in the front, because Italy have disrupted it. Well, this time he takes well. Sile, Salvat running through there by Arbizu. Argentina have numbers as Polido goes through, then Noriega, Matias Corral and Mendez. They really hunt together, those three front row players. Here's a chance for Sile. Can he get through? Great running, and then the knock on coming from Sebastian Salvat. Well, that was perhaps clever play there by Maria Gerosa of Italy. He knew that he was playing with advantage, so decided to take the kick to touch.
Well, there we see the Argentine forwards, just those vital passes, as we said at the beginning of the game. Those of what determined the win and loss situation for this Argentinian team in the Rugby World Cup 95. They've run the ball well at times. They've played with great guts and great courage, but just haven't managed to convert it into points.
El Capitano on his back, great servant of Argentine rugby. Played a lot of his international games at fullback, today at centre. And such is the versatility of these two teams that they're able to field players in positions that are not always their own.
Sebastian Salvat is up and ready to play again, and he's one player that seemingly sticks to putting the ball under his right arm playing in the centre, and sometimes doesn't have the opportunity to release the pass quick enough to get his forwards and backs running outside him.
Argentina having some problem keeping that scrum up in the front row. Well, Luigi Troiani was the man that was injured. He's up on his feet. Look at the near side there with number 1, Matias Corral. Collapsing the scrum on that occasion. Italy decide to go to the back to Giaccari. He's the tallest man on the field, Dominguez. They've got a big man in Stefano Bordon in the midfield with Francescato. Back it comes to Argentina. Now that was better play that by Sile.
Well, a much better kick there from Sile, the little man who made his debut in South Africa last year at Ellis Park against the Springboks. Got off the plane that morning and had an outstanding match that afternoon. Really a fine young player, and as you said earlier, Gavin, surprising that he wasn't in the initial Argentinian touring squad and was recently flown over to join them.
Argentina, with the wind at their backs, don't have the platform that they would want. They lead by just that solitary point, 6 points to 5. Well, for the second time, Argentina are penalized for closing the gap too quickly in the line-out. Once again, a solid punt from Diego Dominguez. Argentina's success started with Yanez, but the quality of ball that's come out on both sides has left a lot to be desired. Controlled tap that time. Sile does well. Gets back to his forwards. The security of the pack of forwards is what Argentines seek always when it's needed. Martin Tiran. Salvat. Well, Sebastian Salvat there, unfortunately holding the ball on the ground. Dominguez, he wastes no time, and he's a solid kicker. Well, this has been a little bit of a kicking contest. Dominguez doing well from Italy's side in with accurate pinpoint kicking, and Sile, well, he's been accurate, but one feels that he could have looked for more distance with the wind at his back. Short line out called, just 5 in on either side. Well taken there by Julian Gardner. Julian Gardner played 4 tests for the Wallabies, and his mother is an Italian. Dominguez's drop will go wide. Well, Salvat is not very happy with his decision from the referee, who will go another 10 meters, saying that the Argentine backline were offsides.
Well, those errors from the Argentinian side, surely their captain will call them together and say, we can't afford to give away such pointless penalties.
Well, Tony, unfortunately, it was the captain that was involved on that occasion, because he was the guy talking to the referee and complaining about the fact that the decision had been given in the first place. Dominguez slotted that great 50-meter penalty into the wind soon after the start. This should be a bit of a doddle for him. Easy, says Dominguez. Penalty number 3 for him.
And behind the poles there, you can see the big crowd of youngsters enjoying the match, scurrying for that ball, and all of them want to get a hand to it.
Argentina, just the solitary try from Martin. Kicking for space, and that's Troncon's kick with some relief. Rosier Arancho is off the field at the moment, just getting some repair work done. So Italy only have 7 forwards. Yanez in the front. Italy take well from the tap down. Referee feels they were offside. That's a good quick take by them. Then Spolida and Rolindo Martin. He really is a forager, is Martin. He's everywhere where the ball is. Christian Veal looks to tidy up for Argentina. Sile straight down the middle of the field. This is Troioni.
Argentina a little bit more urgent in their play as we move towards half-time here at East London, and certainly they'll be rueing the fact that they've had the wind with them. They should have had more points on the board. They've had a great deal of the possession in this first half, and perhaps they're looking for a bit more ball retention in the second half.
Well, we saw the line-out statistics, and once again they come away with it. For the first time, Gerardo comes into the line. It's good, better running by them. This is excellent running, and then Sile with a take. There's Martin again. Salvat dragged by the Italians. Mendes. In a real tightly fought battle up front. Now comes the release. Pickup coming from Christian Veal. Can the Azzurri absorb all this pressure in terms of defense? Chris Scherl, he's calling for the ball. He's got men aplenty on the outside. Matthias Corral, Christian Veal. Well, if one fancies that penalty will go against Francescato, who was lying down on the ball. In fact, Bordon.
A bit of tackling out there by the Italian side. They weren't going to let Argentina score a try. And Argentina have elected to go for the scrum. They've proved already today that they have the more powerful of the two packs. And South Africa, as we saw last night, scored two very, very good pushover tries. And can we expect this from the Argentinian eight-man shove?
Well, they have the weight advantage in the scrum. They have very good technique. Can both sides keep that scrum up? That's solid. That scrum is very solid.
Important in those scrums that as Argentina get the ball put in, that they just settle themselves, prepare for the second push. They seem to be just pushing a little earlier and getting their momentum out of balance.
Well, that's part of their technique in terms of all 8 men scrumming, so they just scrum straight away. Well, that's a penalty try that has been given against Italy. Jose Sile will waste no time with the conversion. Not too much debate from the Italians in respect of the awarding of that try. Safely through from Sile.
Well, full credit here to referee Clayton Thomas. He saw that the Argentinian were headed for the try line, and it was the Italian forwards that just persisted in preventing that ball from coming out cleanly. And the resultant try, good effort.
Long kick from Dominguez. Cuesta Silva calls for it and gets it. Well, for the second time, Gerosa just with a quick throw to Trihani. Argentina come away with it, but referee is happy that Jorgolan was onside for Italy, although the Argentinians didn't seem to think so. Time in the first half fading away then. Argentina lead Italy by 12 points to 9, and the Latin Americans will not be happy with their first half performance. Taken well at the back by Arancho for Italy. Once again they get quality ball with numbers on the outside. Quick pass onto the left wing Gerosa. Good play that by Troncon. They really do well to get the ball back quickly. They always seem to have numbers in the back line, do Italy. Big shove coming from them. While that maul keeps going forward, they'll be 100% happy. Good running there from Pedroni. Well, on this occasion, it was Argentina that killed that ball at the ruck. Now, what is the choice of the Azzurri? Do they kick for goal or try and take on that juggernaut pack?
Well, Gavin, having seen their scrumming this afternoon, I think that one would certainly look to go for the 3 points. Dominguez has already proved he's a reliable goal kicker. And in saying that, we've seen a much better passage of play coming from the Italians, a far more focused maul. They got in behind the forwards, behind the ball, nice and low, and got some good rolling motion going. And that's the success of any maul, getting low and getting the momentum up.
Up with the best kickers in the world, Diego Dominguez. We thought he was a bit lucky with that second penalty of his, which seemed to miss the right-hand upright, but this one certainly hasn't. Honours even, 40 minutes gone, just referee's optional injury time left. RWC with the start. Great tap down from Mavil Tempeli. Matthias Corral. Argentina would like to score a try now, so close to half-time, show greater ascendancy. Good running by them on the outside, that's Martin Tiran. Well, Martin Tiran burst off there after the whistle blew, but the Azzurri were all off sides. And surely Jose Sile will have a kick at goal.
Well, not the first time this afternoon that Clayton Thomas has not let advantage go. And the Argentinians will be rueing the fact that perhaps little Martin Turan was away from his man there. He managed to shrug off a little nice slap around the ear hole and was herring off to the corner flag. But instead it looks to me as if they're going to settle for the opportunity to slot 3 points.
Well, this is an important kick for Argentina to get into the lead, which they've not had for most of this match. Well, that's not good, not a good strike from Sile. Just seemed to stab it a little bit as it went past the left-hand upright. Dominguez deciding to go long to Cuesta Silva. But it's RWC that comes away with it. Then Cuesta Silva. It was much more positive play from Argentina. The inspiration on that occasion coming from the right wing, but it's been the inside backs that have been a little lackadaisical for the men from South America. Wonderful period of service to Argentine rugby from Diego Cuesta Silva, the cardiologist. Well, that's the halftime whistle then. 12 points each for Italy and Argentina. Not a great first half in terms of rugby spectacle, which we were hoping to see. But perhaps that'll improve in the second half.
Instinct told him that something was wrong. Monday on the bill.
I don't like the sound of this one.
A young child disappears.
Said we'll never see him again.
And as night begins to fall,
There's a 6-year-old boy missing, and we don't know whether he's dead or alive.
The Bill, 8:35 Monday on 1.
Bacon going on. I said, come on over, baby, won't be around very long. McDonald's makes it so you can take it. So come on, shake it with the bacon. It's back. $9.95. Now's a great time for the delicious taste of real value. Always a great time at McDonald's.
The Celtic Small Black 15. Has there ever been a team like it? This week, Glenn Osborne and Stephen Bashop join the squad.
Collect the full 15 at participating Caltex stations now. The Caltex Small Black 15. Don't miss them.
Just the way I like them.
Zigzag stitching. Reinforced finishing. Tightly knit fabric. Strengthened collar. Canterbury of New Zealand. The world's toughest activewear.
Running water's very relaxing, but not when it's ankle deep in the lounge at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's what Jack and Helen Cameron came back to when their home flooded, ruining their furniture and carpets. The good news is that Jack and Helen are insured with national insurance, who are available 24 hours a day, so they got immediate emergency assistance. Now everything's back to normal. When you make a claim, the last thing you want is more problems. Phone national insurance on 0800 808 808 and get protection you can depend on. They keep you informed every step of the way, everything you'd expect from a top quality claims service. Phone national insurance now on 0800 808 808 for further information and arrange for an obligation-free quote.
The new Dick Smith Electronics 95 annual catalogue is full of phones, faxes, mobiles, personal audio, learning toys, computers, electronics and accessories for everything. The new Dick Smith Electronics 95 catalogue, out now.
Aruvale Gel for your bumps and bruises. Aruvale Gel for sprains and strains. Aruvale Gel, rub it in and rub it out.
Aruvale Gel rubs out pain. Available from your pharmacy.
I've travelled a lot in the past few years and discovered that builders the world over have one thing in common. Makita, on building sites worldwide, it's the brand the tradesmen swear by.
Give me my Makita Black.
A little huddle on the halfway line are the officials for today. Then Clayton Thomas of Wales in the centre of picture, Derek Bevan on the left, and KD Serafin from Côte d'Ivoire standing at the back. Lots of flags from the two respective nations in particularly the open stand, and we saw that banner a little bit earlier. Important match tonight for Western Samoa. Well, they're waiting for the message from the touchline to allow Clayton Thomas to restart the last 40 minutes of Rugby World Cup for Argentina and Italy. Will it be a long kick from Diego Dominguez? That's a good kick into space by Argentina. Gianni, long kick downfield. That's also a long punt there from right wing Diego Cuesta Silva. Well, lots of kicking from both sides, but not finding touch. That's Christian Ville. He's a big, strong man, is the young Christian Ville. Martin Tiran. There's plenty of men on the outside for Argentina. Can they be swift of hand here and sleight of foot? Federica Mendez. Good play by Sile, and on the right wing, that's Cuesta Silva. That was a good period of play from Argentina, but once again they just lack the finishing touches. Back foot is Gerardo. Punting for the corner flag.
Well, Argentina making all the running in the start of the second half, but again just showing that those vital passes, the ones that are gone a bigging in this tournament for them, really have cost them. The rucks and mauls there, just look at the dominance by Argentina. They haven't converted it to points, and their captain will have said to them at half-time, come on guys, we've got to get together, use the ball correctly.
Tactics are good from Dominguez in chasing Argentina back. Message surely from George's Cost has been to kick deep down into Argentina's half of the field. Well, the match just struggling to come alive as these two teams pit their skills against each other. Carlo Orlandi with the throw into the back. Julian Gardner. That was good take by Italy. They've got the big strong Bordon in the middle. He's really a good runner with the ball. Little flick pass on the inside, and once again a movement comes to naught after looking considerable.
Well, those are the vital moments that one needs to take the chances a few, and we've seen neither side really capitalize on the good breaks made by Sebastian Salvat on the Argentinian side and Big Bordon in the Italian side.
In the middle, the tap down comes from Giaccardi. That's the first hoist of the match in terms of an attacking up and under that we've seen from either side. But there was a knock-on from Italy.
Well, apart from that up and under being finely placed, it also was a little bit of a floating ball. It didn't go up and roll head over heel as it came down. And those are so difficult to get underneath because they virtually float away from you. The wind won't be helping either.
Oh, Bordon was not very happy, but he's back on his feet again. Good scrum from Argentina. Hong Kong with the put in. Krishel with the put in. Sile, that one just screwing off his boot. Well, a little bit of cat and mouse from both teams in not spreading the ball wide. Italy, it's only been Italy on occasions when they've had men in numbers on the outside that they've looked to spread it wide and use Bordon as a battering ram down the middle. Once again it goes to the back, but there was pushing from Italy in that line out.
Well, the referee is certainly penalising the lineouts harshly this afternoon. And the Rugby World Cup has shown us that there are 101 different things that one can actually be penalised for in these lineouts, and the referee just identifying there that a little bit of pushing at the back.
That's a great kick that from Jose Sile of Argentina. Can Argentina now make something of this? They need a good jump from Yanez in the front. Watch the push coming there from Italy's Arancho, number 6. Tap down from Italy. That's Noriega taking through. Matias Corral. Well, Argentina was slow to get to that ruck, and that's why it's come out on the Italian side. The forwards of the Argentine must feel very unhappy with the fact that so often when they've driven through that the ball's popped over out on the Italian side, there's been a turnover, and then it was the boot of Dominguez to chase them back.
Well, psychologically, mentally, those things certainly pay a heavy price for your forwards when you make all that ground upfield, as you said, and suddenly you're turning your head and heading back 50-odd meters down the field.
Still 12 points all. Titanic struggle between these two teams. That's a good jump from Yanez. It's his first clean take for a considerable amount of time. Sile. It's well taken and back to Troiani. That's a very good kick that from Troiani. Is the bounce kind to him, taken in by Krischel. Doesn't have a very good angle, does Krischel, but he makes a very good job of that kick. Now, what do Italy do in this line out? They're struggling to get ball to Petroni in the middle. Looked at the options of Julian Gardner at the back, which is, with control tapping, has worked well for them. Dominguez, that ball screws off his boot. Gerardo was well positioned from the fullback position of Argentina. But we can see that the Italians have only passed on 3 occasions from that man, Diego Dominguez. But on all 3 occasions, they were in good positions to run with the ball. Yanez takes again in the front. Lots of communication in that maul. Sile looks to spread. The long pass out there to Arbizu. And that's Troiani. Well, Troiani has certainly had a more active second half than the first.
Well, Gavin, as we see the lineouts being dominated by Argentina, it's surprising that Italy will almost be content at continuing to kick for touch. They have looked so much more exciting when we've seen them counter-attack in numbers. And with not winning the possession in the lineouts as they should be, they're on a losing battle here.
Well, the penalty there given against Arancho, who was earlier penalized for pushing in the line out. Italians took out Yanez on that occasion. Argentina saying to the referee that they're not very happy with that decision. In fact, it wasn't Yanez, it was Spolido. Went down like a sack of potatoes. Now, can Jose Sile reverse the fortunes of Argentina in that kicking role?
Sile will need to strike the ball a little cleaner than he has been doing today. He's, as you said earlier, stabbed at the ball and almost falls off the ball, falls away from it, and as a result gets very little power into the middle of the ball.
Well, he's shown his ability in the past. He's struck that well. He's got the distance, has Sile, but just past the right hand upright. Now will Dominguez look for the long kick downfield. Choosing to go right down the middle. He finds a gap at back foot is Sile. Sile similarly down the middle of the field. Good cat and mouse from both teams. Lots of time for Troiani. That's a massive punt from him, but that won't go out. Gerardo. Well, counter-attack, Tony, can only come when you've got men back there supporting the man with the ball. And both teams seemingly content to stand in the middle as they ping-pong it to either side of the field. Good jump at the back by Italy, and then the switch pass on the inside to Vaccari. That's good ball for Italy. Can they make something of this? Bordon. Argentina were in an offside position, but maybe they can make something of this. Good running on the outside now. Here's an interesting chance for Italy. Who's going to get there first? The try has gone to Paolo Viccari. There was good play by him, lovely skills.
Well, that was a copybook try from the winger there, Paolo Viccari, as we saw him put the little chip over the top. He was running out of space, and really some super interlinking passes. There was always a man looping around. The communication was good. Just watch here as we see him loop around. Fullback Troyani makes the running. And in the end, seeing that he had little options, and he would have been watching that dead ball line looming up. And in the end, he makes a super dot down.
Having the advantage of pace, of course, just helped him to get in front of the Argentine player on that occasion.
Good advantage played by the referee there. He indicated that there was a penalty to be awarded to Italy, and on that occasion he allowed things to play on, and this time it was Italy who benefited from it.
Lovely record from Dominguez. That won't continue. Yes, in fact, the referee's given that over. Well, once again, it looked like that ball was swinging wide. But the scorecard will read conversion to Dominguez. It's an important kick for Italy because Argentina will need to score twice to get past them. Indiscipline continues for the men from South America. Front of the ball on that occasion. Troncon, and then Gardner picks up on the inside. This is good running by Italy. They've got good support. There's men on the outside. Bordon, Francescato. He's a lovely runner, is Francescato, taken on by Viccari. Well, this is a chance now for Italy. Are they going to score? This is great running by Italy. Maria Gerosa. And just when we were talking of Italy opening up the opportunities with their backline, they feel they've laid that platform, and some two lovely tries in the space of a few minutes.
Well, Gerosa there showing a clean pair of heels to the opposition as we saw Italy really champagne rugby there. Lovely interlinking forwards and backs, and just look at the crisp sidestep there. He comes in, he knows their support. Watch this tackle coming from Julian Gardner there, over his head. And in the end, it's the little man, Gerosa, who scurries through. He'll be delighted with that try, will he? He hasn't had much work this afternoon. And how nice to score a try out there in this vital encounter between these two sides.
Well, suddenly Italy have leapfrogged to 24 points. Just shows you what a difference it makes if you can score tries. Dominguez off the upright. Well, the first miss for the fly half from Italy. Restart coming from Arbizu. That's gone too deep. Back for Dominguez. Martin Tiran and Gerardo. Some real aimless kicking from Gerardo. He really hasn't sought to kick tactically into space at all.
Well, Gerardo, normally so solid on the counter-attack, really hasn't proved his worth this afternoon. The territory speaks for itself there. Argentina seem to have dominated the territory, yet can't score the points. Second half, Italy all over them.
Yanez in the front. Can Argentina get some pace going in that back line? There's plenty of numbers. This is Arbizu coming through. Diego Cuesta Silva. Pressures on Troyani, but he takes well. He's a big, tall man, is Troyani. Well, back it comes, and once again, Argentina have to turn back and chase. Gerardo, aimless kick again from him. This is Dominguez. Now Dominguez will want to open up here because there's players aplenty on the outside. Try scorer Paolo Viccari. taken by Jurado.
Over anxious moments for Italy there as they sensed they were in another attacking position, and the referee just indicating that they were going over the top and preventing the ball from coming out.
Sile guilty of not kicking out. This is Vakari. Huge punt downfield from him. Well, Italy will be comfortable with that. It's a 22 dropout for Argentina, and difficult for them to kick distance into the wind. Lovely deep hanging kick. Pedro Spolida gets there early, but Italy have that advantage. Dominguez kicking with accuracy again. Martin Tiran. Players really guilty of not finding their touches when they've sought them. Luigi Troani was not looking for touch, just to kick downfield. And really, Argentina forwards are having to turn around and go back on so many occasions.
And as you say that, the Argentinian forwards' heads suddenly hanging a little low. They're doing a lot of walking, a lot of turning, and watching this almost ping-pong game going on above their heads.
Dominguez, you'll want to run with that. Good play by him. Well, not too much space there for try scorer Jarosa, who himself has played at fullback before as well. So Italy's last line of defence, with Troani at the back, is well served by the left wing too. Dominguez, Cresta Silva didn't manage to take cleanly. Well, that ball stayed in field from the first kick and then eventually rolled out. There really has been an enormous amount of aimless kicking, in particular from Argentina. That's the scoreline. 20 minutes Argentina have got to get themselves back into this game, and one senses they'll need to start scoring tries. That's a tap with the outside arm by Italy.
Big Julian Gardner launched himself at the back of the line out there, and quite clearly using the inside arm, and that's another penalizable offence in the lineouts.
Well, Argentina have decided that a launch on the Italian goal line is what they need, not kicking goals. Spolida, too much lateral movement from Argentina. Sile, long pass on the outside to Arbizu. Tiran can't collect, and then Salvat tries to repair the damage. Well, there was no chance of that ball coming out. Argentina were going forward, hence they have the scrum. It's Francescato. Lovely sidestepping that we've seen today from the Italian centre. Kreshel with a put in for Argentina. Well, Troncon of Italy there was the man that jumped up, and Italy have the advantage now. Once again, Dominguez with that huge boot of his. Tiran and Gerardo get into a little bit of a mix-up. Now this is maybe what Argentina need, is some players switching and doing a little bit of interrunning and interplay. Well, Argentina perhaps needs some sort of catalyst now to get themselves back into the game. One senses that Martin Tiran was trying to be that one there with the run from that long, deep kick. But there's a lack of imagination and creativity in the South American team. It's all Italy. They've used their opportunities well. They've hurried the Argentines into mistakes. And there's been far too much lateral movement from Argentina. Italy have sought to go straight forward when they can, despite the fact that they haven't dominated the important phases of this match. Certainly not in statistical terms. Crichel with a put in for Argentina. Mendes with a hooking foot. Sile, Arbizu, Gerardo gets into the back line. He hasn't been in on occasions. And then Sebastian Salvat running beautifully off the ball. He'll certainly want quicker support than that, Sebastian Salvat. But here's another chance for Argentina. Once again choosing to play close. Mix up at the back. Arbizu. Italy have kept their defense very well organized. Only the men that need to go in are in there. The rest is spread out across the field. Sile to Mendes. There's a wall of resistance from the Azzurri. Gerardo tries to make something of it. Getting across that advantage line is so important for Argentina. Well, eventually the Italians had to perhaps fold in defense, but they were in an offside position. And that's Stefano Bordon down. He's that big, strong center from Italy.
Well, we saw some very, very fine attacking play by the Argentinians there. And again, Sebastian Salvat popping that ball underarm, one arm on the ball. And in the vital circumstances of going to ground, unable to get a pass away. And he should know better than that. He's got a lot of support coming up from his forwards. They've proved today that there's always going to be an Argentinian in support. But on that occasion, really not making use of the opportunity.
After possibly deciding some minutes ago that penalties close to the poles, that they would run it and try and attack the Italian goal line because they trail by 12 points. There's enough time for them maybe to convert the kicks that come their way. Mixed fortunes for Jose Sile, but that's a better kick from him.
Well, those kicks, while just racking up Argentina's score a little, will give their forwards time to regroup, take a breather. They're certainly playing with a lot of guts and fire out there. And a lot of them have played all 3 games in this tournament and will certainly be feeling the effects of it.
Dominguez's deep restart. That's the experience of Diego Cuesta Silva. Quick throw in by Italy. That was good thinking by them. Now Dominguez, can they make something of this? Long pass on the outside. Paolo Vicari, Dominguez, Julian Gardner. Referee waiting for advantage to go Argentina's way.
Sadly for Argentina, on that occasion, they lacked men in support. And their attack would only have been met by 2 or 3 forwards, Italian forwards standing out wide in the positions of centres and wings.
If there is to be kicking from their side, it needs to be tactical. There's space behind the Italian backline. Sile choosing to go long. With the Italian defence lying so shallow, the fullback pretty far back. There might just have been opportunities for a little bit of creativity and perhaps some chip kicks into space from Argentina. Jose Sile has not had a great game for them.
Well, it's saying that young Sile hasn't really played well this afternoon. I must say that young Kreschel, his support, his crisp passes that we've seen from him really have been a little bit lackadaisical. And they really haven't found him much space.
Italy have looked a team that really want to win today, and you've got to give them credit for that. Some pinpoint kicking from Dominguez. This is Gerardo. Well, so few men from the Argentine coming back to support the ball catcher. So counter-attacks have been in short supply. That's the man from the Jockey Club, Rodrigo Kreschel. Lots of passes from the Argentinian scrum half, but they haven't really gone out to the back line. It's been mainly to forwards, Rolando Martin and his fellow loose forwards just driving forward. Well, Diego Cuesta Silva must feel that he's almost been like a fullback today with the amount of kicking that he's done. Carlo Orlandi of Argentina. That's Herman Yanez, but it was well taken there by Padroni for Italy. Oh, suddenly pops out on Argentine side. Well, this is great ball for them. Spolido. Once again, the ball coming out very, very scraggly. Taken on by Santa Marina. Perhaps a little sense of urgency coming into the Argentine side. Arbizu sneaks through a gap. This is Arbizu, great running by him. Support coming from Gerardo. Can they make something of this? Mendes. Sile running wide. Inside. Is that a try to Matias Corral?
Well, eventually it's Argentina that score a try in the second half. They've threatened on 2 or 3 occasions, but that time they finally put the finishing touches to a very, very good move. Just watch little Arbizu here. In fact, that's their little fly half who shoots around the blind side. Silly, and look for the big prop forward who comes in as support there. Super to see big Matias Corral. And he certainly got through a lot of work this afternoon, as have his other prop forward partner, Noriega. Lovely little pass in there. No one's going to stop that big man with 5 meters to go.
Four points the difference, so we don't need to tell you the importance of this conversion for Sile. General record good, but not great today. Well, that's straightened up from Sile. That's a hairline miss. So 4 points are the difference then. Italy lead by 24 points to 20. Just 10 minutes left of this match. Try scorer Matias Corral.
Remember, it was victory that was stolen from the Argentinians by Western Samoa. They too, the Argentinians had a commendable lead of 23-12, and in the end losing to Western Samoa. And they'll look to reverse that today.
Must remember that they performed well against England as well, did Argentina. Huge punt there from Luigi Trani. Argentina, of course, getting lots of possession, which they've lost. We've seen that perhaps with a little bit of over-elaboration from, in particular, the 3 loose forwards. Well taken there by Troncon. Little man, but very nuggety scrum half.
Well, that little statistic there showing you the possession that was lost. That means, in fact, that Argentina gave possession away to Italy 34 times. And that certainly makes for tiring stuff out there when you're defending on occasions where you should have the ball for attack.
Sile. Oh, well, there's been wayward kicking from Argentina, and Luigi Troani has not really been tested at the back. Italy's dominance possession-wise in the second half has diminished as the half has continued. Argentina have started coming back into the game. That's good running by them now. Here's a chance for Diego Cuesta Silva. There's not enough players close in support. Mendes can't take, nor can Christian Ville. The ball didn't go forward though, so here's another chance for them. But if Mendes had looked to his left, he would have seen a swarm of blue and white jerseys. Noriega. Quick take by Argentina. They don't worry about the penalty. Back inside, long pass to Gerardo. Has Gerardo got the legs and the pass? Back inside, and they've just held up short. Well, that's positive play from Argentina, Tony.
Far more positive play, and the young fly-off Silly there, he didn't realize that he had a great deal of support outside him. And just have a look here as we see Argentina struggle to get to that try line. And Derek Bevan, well, he's jumping up and down and sticking his flag up and putting it down, and all in the excitement of the afternoon.
Well, any man not standing in the line-out has got to retreat 10 meters, and Argentina, once again, a silly little error from them. Well, Dominguez, and now the silly little error comes from Italy because one of the Italians was standing in front of the kicker. Italy might rue that particular situation because he has a chance now for Crichel and his pack of forwards pick up at the back by Santa Marina. Italy did well there. They scragged him and then seemingly have taken away possession, but it's Christian Ville that comes away. Now, can they spread it wide? Sile going inside. Sile is going to score for Argentina, and that was poor defense from the Italians.
Well, the little fly half has threatened in the last 5 or so minutes. He made a super break just now, which resulted in their first try in the second half, and there he proves that he's a nifty little player, and he'll be happy to get his name on the try scoring list. Just have a look here. Lots of support from the Argentinians looping around, and for the first time we see the Italian defense just opening up, and that big forward Chalon just not able to make the counting tackle for Italy.
They've defended so well in this match, have Italy, and right now at the moment critique they were found wanting. But full marks to Sile too. Hasn't had an impressive match, but just when the occasion has demanded it, he's popped up with some magic. Easy kick for a man of his standards. Has he struck that well enough? No, it's gone past. Well, Italy stay in the race then.
Well, in all honesty, Gavin, that one looked to me to certainly gone over the crossbar when one compares it to the first kick of Dominguez in the first half, and that may well change the result later on.
Argentina will want to build on these last couple of minutes of very positive play from them and not get negative. That's Sile's punt. Triani. Now he looks to counter-attack, but where the players in support? Argentina were offside. Dominguez is right up there. Now will he punt for the corner flag? The advantage of the throw in the line out will belong to the Azzurri. Argentina playing that ball from an offside position. Well, both sides require urgency now in these last few minutes of the match. That's Christian Phil. Sile can't take the pass, just above his head. Recovers well, does Jose Sile. Well, this is going to be a try for Diego Dominguez, and, well, can you believe it? Great anticipation from the Italian fly half. And Argentina guilty of not clearing the ball from their 22 when they had the opportunity. Christian Phil came away, and they looked to run it, but just watch how quickly Diego Dominguez takes that pass. Everybody stood quite stunned. The referee said, play on. Oh, a quite incredible finish to what has been a rather average game today. Plenty of excitement. Dominguez, he's had an excellent match, a try, a conversion to come, and the 3 penalty goals. No hurry for the Italian fly half. Important kick for them. He struck it well, as Dominguez. That's a great kick. Well, now the Italian flags are flying up now. Just have a look at the linesman in the background with his flag up. But the referee said play on, and Dominguez took the opportunity. Arbizu's kick well fielded by Petroni. Dominguez's boot will come into play now. He'll just want to chase them back. Gerardo. Has this positive play from Argentina come too late for the South Americans? Rolando Martin, who's had a quiet second half. Richo Mendes that went in, and then just look at the tackles, telling tackles from Italy. Arbizu switched to Diego Cuesta Silva. Argentina have had lateral movement for most of this match and have not bridged that advantage line of Italy. Well, that'll not be too much bother for Italy as the minutes tick away. 31 points to 25 they lead, so that difference is 6 points, and Argentina know that they require a goal to win this match. Kicking is not always going to serve purpose, particularly if it doesn't go out. That's Vicario. A massive punt from him downfield. Well, it's those punts that have really taken the heart out of the Argentine scrum, Argentine pack of forwards. They've had to turn and go back so often in this match. Arbizu, nice big drop from him, but it's only Pedro Spoleta there. The rest of the Argentine pack are slow in getting forward. Zancon, Dominguez. Good performance today from the Italian fly half. 18 points out of the 31. That's a short kick for Argentina, but it didn't cross the line. Well, as many balls as the Argentine have given away in open play, so they've won as well. So it's been a real day of mixed fortunes for them. Dominguez with a drop kick. Well, he'll not be too concerned about that because he just keeps plugging the Argentine back, and that's the end of the match then. Italy winning by 31 points to 25, and few people will realize the importance of this victory for the Azzurri. It was a bottom pool match, and neither team progresses from here. They will be going home, but a vitally important match for Italy because they're coming of age as a rugby nation. For the Argentine, one can only feel sorry for them because in all three matches they've performed credibly. They've come very close to upsetting certain teams. They played against England, Western Samoa, and of course today against Italy.
But he's not complaining. They'll take the extra 3 points, and that takes Italy into a 6-0 lead.
Start coming there from Arbezu, who's played fly half during Rugby World Cup as well. Dominguez with the relief for Italy. But that real sense of urgency coming from the Italians might have something to do with the fact that they're playing into the wind, and important that they establish some sort of platform to turn around at half-time. Krishel onto Noriega. Penalty will go Italy's way if there is no advantage. Clayton Thomas just waiting for the release, but it comes on the other side. Italy went over that ruck ball and played the ball off their feet. So we'll see now Jose Sile, who's also a very good goal kicker. Well, in fact, he's not going for poles, and this is an interesting choice by him. They've chosen to rather try and get a line out close to the Italian line. They have the strength of Herman Yanez in the front of the line out, and that's a very positive move.
More importantly for Argentina, that's Sile's third attempt at touch from a penalty, and he's finally managed to get it, and that gives them the throw-in at the line out. A huge advantage.
Well, will it be Yanez in the front or Spoleta in the middle? Yanez is the taker. Two powerful packs of forwards. The way they come with it. Good play there by Hooker Mendez. This could well be a try to Argentina. Well, a positive reward for positive play. Well, that try has gone to Rolando Martin. And he, in many ways, has been one of the stars of the Rugby World Cup 95 for Argentina. Very lively player. Always the man, certainly on the Argentinian side, the first man to the point of breakdown.
Well, the try initially coming from a super jump at the front of the line out by German Yanez. And just look here as the loose forwards, both of them get in behind each other, and eventually it's Rolando Martin.
Yeah. Scrum off is Troncon, and then Diego Dominguez. That's a big hoist from Bakari. Very solid Jurado at the back. Well, they're going to come back for a penalty for Argentina being in an offside position. Jurado looks a bit stunned. It had nothing to do with him. And this is virtually on the halfway line, and kicking into that wind is not going to be an easy job for Dominguez. He's thinking about going for poles, and yes, he is. Well, this is going to be an enormous kick on a day like today. Conditions are firm underfoot, so he won't have any problems with footholds.
Two naughty errors there from the Argentinian side as they started off the match. Firstly, going into touch on the full, and then conceding a penalty like that. Really, at this level, they shouldn't be forcing those penalties.
Well, that's an excellent effort, that, and that's well over there from Dominguez. Now, if he's going to kick them over into the wind from that sort of distance, Argentina had better beware. Italian support substantial here today in East London. That's once again that kick's gone too far from Argentina. Choice for Italy. Massimo Catita says we'll come back to the halfway line for a scrum. They have options. Two powerful packs of forwards. Argentina outweighing the Italians. Good solid technique, as we've always come to know from Argentina. Both packs are obliged to scrum straight. Dominguez with a little switch pass, and then a good run through that ball out to Vakari. Solid start for Italy in this match. Argentina come away with it. That's Sile. Well, there was a forward pass there, and the Italians hurrying the Argentine into mistakes.
Yes, certainly the Italian side seems to be playing with a lot more urgency. They cut the Argentinian backline off right at source there, and Silly had no opportunity to go anywhere but look for the touchline.
Well, the ball put under the feet of hooker Carlo Orlandi there from Alessandro Troncon, the Italian scrum half. You don't often see that in today's rugby, and Sile just deciding to kick quickly, didn't really set his sights. Long, and that's a good punt across the field back for Gerardo and Diego Cuesta Silva. Well, it just shows that if you can kick accurately and with good timing, the wind makes very little difference to your performance. Federico Mendes with a throw-in for Argentina. Well, there'll be a hold-up here for injury, because down on the far side, looks like one of the Italians, that's Franco Properzi, who was just down for a while, but he's back on his feet. Lots of experience in the front row. He's a big man, is Franco Properzi. Useful support in the lineouts, of course, for Pedroni and Jacari. But it's Mendes who'll probably be looking for Yanez in the front. Doesn't find him. Back to Troncon. Good play by the Italians, trying to get over that advantage line. Troncon again back coming into Francescato. This is great running by the Italian side. Just look at the support, but there's no one on the far side. Troncon, was that a knock-on? Oh, back they'll come for the scrum.
Exciting moments there from Italy again. They're playing with such urgency, looking to move the ball, looking for space. And indeed, as we saw that fine break through the middle there by Bordon, and he made a very useful break in
Tina. Lots of experience in that team, and a powerful pack of forwards, particularly that front row. Great scrummers they are, the Argentinians. Italy, well, disappointing tournament for them, but lots to play for today in terms of restoring the pride of the Azzurri. The Australians spoke about that pack of forwards. Julian Gardner at the back, who played 4 internationals for Australia, and the scrumming ability of the Italians was widely praised by Australia. Placements for today: 2 De Castillos on the Argentinian side. The referee today for today's encounter is Clayton Thomas from Wales. and he'll be supported by another Welshman in Derek Bevan, who's in his 3rd Rugby World Cup, and Kofi Degni Serafin from Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast, commonly known as KD in his country. Crowd have packed in here just at a very late stage. When we arrived some 2 hours ago, there were not that many people in the ground, but great support for these two nations, and one certainly hopes that we'll see an attractive game of rugby, Tony, because both these teams are capable of playing good, attractive, running, constructive rugby.
Yes, indeed. Both sides have proved in the Rugby World Cup 95 that given the opportunity, they do take their chances. They counter-attack very well. But one of the things with this Argentinian side, they retain the ball very well, but those final passes, those try-scoring opportunities just go begging. And they haven't been able to convert their opportunities, and they have had numerous ones at that into points. So they'll be looking for a marked improvement this afternoon.
Well, the finishing touches are what needed as Sile starts with a deep kick that might go all the way out. Well, not a good start for Argentina. A little bit of misjudgment possibly of the win there from Sile. Sile coming across to South Africa as a replacement in the Argentine side, and that was something of great surprise to the South Africans, that he was not a first choice after performing so well against them last.
Gave the useful support to his backup.
Well, it was good to see Francescato coming off his right foot. Well, the penalty is given for collapsing the scrum that was given against Massimo Katita. Sile choosing to go with the win because that's the direction, but it's not a very good kick from him. Taken by Vakari. Back inside to Bourdon. Good play there from Zogolon. Well, Italy are getting a great surplus of ball here. Kind bounce for them, Cuesta Silva and then Gerardo. The Argentines are there in greater numbers, but hurried into a knock-on, and a real sense of urgency from Italy.
Well, that's the first time we've seen the Argentine side really get together. They took out the Italian men, just preventing that ball from coming out. And unfortunately, at the crucial time, little knock-on, and those are really unforced errors.
Pick up at the back from Gardner. Then Katita takes back in again. They want to suck the Argentine in. Good running by Dominguez. Swift of foot is Dominguez. Now that could be a penalty for a late charge.
Little man Dominguez puts up a super little chip looking for space, and you can just see that he runs into a brick wall there and ends up flat on his behind.
The Argentine maybe have a score to settle with this man. Argentine by birth, but now domiciled in Italy. Really an excellent kicker with a very high strike rate does Dominguez have. Just absolutely wastes no time. It'll swing away, that one, and the referee has given it over. Well, from our view, that looked like it didn't go over. We'll leave that judgment to you.
Well, Gavin, you can just see the little smile on his face. There's quite unbelievingly, he seems to think that it may well have missed.